Music is an integral part of my life, and I would dare to say that is true for everyone. Even people who say they don't particularly like music, which is very incomprehensible to me, but even those people who claim that, I think music is an integral part of all of our lives because it sparks a feeling deep inside without warning, whether you like it or not. So for me to pick one song and say this is the song that really stirs it up for me is almost impossible. I've gone through a lot of songs, a lot of possibilities. I've decided I would pick this one, then I'm going to pick that one. And I finally decided on this one song called I Would Give Everything. And it's by a group called Bread. They were very popular back in the 70s. And they sang mostly love songs. I loved everything they sang. And so I picked this song because it does spark a particular memory. Anything that they sing sparks this same memory, but that's the one I picked for today. So there's a little history behind it, and I think I should probably explain that. When I was 15 years old, my brother was newly married to a woman named Kim, who was absolutely petrified to stay by herself. She was petrified to be alone, especially at night. And so the summer between my ninth grade year of high school and my 10th grade year of high school, I spent with them in North Carolina so that Kim would not be afraid, because me at 15 years old was braver than she was at 21 years old. And it wasn't that she thought I could protect her as much as just the company of someone being there. Sometimes the nights are very long when you're alone and you're scared. So I went to stay with her. And before I left, my mother said to me, Barbara, do not think you're going down there to North Carolina to have a little summer fling, because that's not going to happen. And in all honesty, that is the very last thing that was on my mind. However, that is kind of exactly what happened. So my brother, his name is Rick, he had a friend named Troy, and Troy decided he kind of liked me. It was not me deciding I liked Troy. Troy kind of decided he liked me. And as a grown woman now with children that are grown and growing, if my 15-year-old daughter started dating a 21-year-old Marine, I would go berserk. But my mother didn't know. And it was a really safe situation because Troy knew that my brother, Rick, would kill him with his bare hands if he was inappropriate with me at all. So Troy and I started dating over that summer. And it was really very innocent. We went out on dates. We would go get something to eat. We would go bowling. We would go to the movies. And there was a little bit of smacky mouth going on, but that was about all that went on. And of the two of us, I was a little more mature than Troy was, because Troy just did things that get on my nerves. And I was there for a whole summer, so I had my own room there at my brother's place. And I can remember many times jumping up and just furious because Troy did something else stupid, and I would just storm off to my room and close the door. And Troy would walk back to my bedroom. He wasn't allowed in the bedroom, but he would, and the biggest attraction to Troy was that he could play and sing. He could play the guitar and sing anything. He could hear a song once and play it perfectly. And he had a very good voice. And because I love music, that was attractive to me. So I would get mad. I would storm off to the bedroom. And Troy would walk down the hall to my bedroom door and sit on the other side of the door and play love songs for me. Just most of the time it was Bread. This song that I'm talking about was always in the repertoire. But any song. Sometimes he would throw in a Jackson Browne or a Bob Seger, but most always it was songs by Bread. And I would sit there and listen to him. And I would never, ever, ever leave my room until he stopped playing, because I can remember anytime I hear this song, I am transported back to that bedroom in North Carolina, sitting cross-legged on the bed thinking, He is so stupid. And I know this is supposed to be romantic, but he's stupid. He's stupid, and I wish he would just grow up. And so then he would finally stop and he would walk away. And once he was gone, I would get up and go out of the room. And every single time I hear a song, this song or any song by Bread, I am transported back to that bedroom, sitting cross-legged, thinking, when is he going to stop? But now it makes me smile. Yeah, I was furious when it was happening, but now it makes me smile. And I would like to add this. As we get older, and I am certainly not getting any younger, as we get older, we begin to worry about what real old age has in store for us. And there are things that are petrifying to me, just like spending the night alone was petrifying for my sister-in-law. It is petrifying to me to think that I might lose my senses and lose my direction of thought, as would happen with dementia. I'm not talking about Alzheimer's. I'm talking about just senile dementia, which would be bad enough. Alzheimer's would be 100 times worse. But when I think about these songs that I hear, whether it's Bread or any other song that takes me back, not to a particular memory, but to just a time and space of my youth. Like some songs will just take me to the swimming pool when I was a teenager, and some songs take me back to my friend's basement where she had these boy-girl parties that I was never allowed to go to, but sometimes I did. Sometimes they take me to the bowling alley or to Camden Park or wherever, and it's not a particular incident or memory. It's just a feeling that I had while I was riding my bike, or when I first got my license and I was driving in the car, and I am transported back to that feeling, not necessarily a memory, but that feeling. And I wonder if dementia is kind of like that, kind of just being transported back to that feeling, that time and that space and that feeling of being there. And maybe it lasts a little bit longer than the 2 or 3 minutes of a song. I don't know. I don't know that anyone has ever come back from dementia to tell us what it's like. So, but I'm going to hold on to the thought that maybe that's what it is, because that makes it a little less scary. Thank you.